Hello and welcome back to Woodsman Comforts. Today we're going on that hike, part 3 of navigating the unplanned hike. So I'm ready to go. And the first place I think I want to go is up that hill and explore, because I saw some deer run up there just as I was coming in. There's a drive leading north and south from here which will serve as my linear feature to aim off on when I come back. And so I'm all set. I just need to shoot an azimuth and hit the trail. Sight, rotate, and read. SOP 1, shoot an azimuth. I'll be walking 254. Walking 254. I find it's a lot easier for me, since I'm easily distracted, to use a tally counter. I click it every time my left foot hits the ground. I've been walking and counting paces to this tree you see behind me. I came around on this side of it. I'll sight another object to walk the azimuth to up ahead. By the way, when I'm going to step off the trail and fool around and look, I always drop a little marker where I was standing when I stopped my count. So you can see what I'm doing. I walked the first azimuth at 254. I got 3.5 beads plus, it says plus 20p, plus 20 paces. Then I walked 172 degree azimuth. I pulled down 4 beads in that distance and I had 5 extra paces. I just keep recording the extra paces and then I'll add them up, and when I get to 30 I just add another pull down bead. I'm about to change course now. I'm in a field here and I know the azimuth I need to walk is 116. Question is, where is 116 in this field? So do you remember from video 2 how to get that? It's called setting an azimuth. And to do that I'll read my 116, orient my compass, and sight an object to walk to. See that tallest tree? I'm zoomed in, that's where I'm heading. However, problem is in front of me is a little marshy area. So this is a good opportunity to box step around this obstacle. Remember the procedure from video 2? 4 90-degree turns. This time I'll be going around the right side. You can see I boxed out and boxed in the same number of paces, and I did my 4 90-degree turns. And guess what? Here I am at my nice tall tree. So it worked out pretty well. I think I'll change course now. Okay, I've stopped my hike and I put my little marker tape right on that shrub so I'd know where I am, because now I'm going to do the part of figuring out how to find my car again. Notice I have 5 distinct legs on this trip, so I am going to find 5 sticks, and I'll show you what to do with them in a minute. What I've done is recreated my entire hike in very small scale, but to scale, on the ground in front of me, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And when I stand, because it's to scale and correctly oriented to magnetic north, I can sight from my point of stopping marker on my ground map to my point of origin marker on my ground map, and that should give me the azimuth back to my car. So here's what the map looks like. I put little red marker tape on it so you could see it. So there's the first leg. For every bead I took 1 step. Every bead that I recorded is shown on my ground map here by 1 step. There was the next leg, there was the next leg, There was that long leg. Getting to that is where I had to do the box stepping. And then finally, way over here, this real long walk to the due north, that represents my final stopping place. What I'm going to do is stand by this terminal one and sight back to my point of origin one, which is right there, and that should give me my azimuth. Now, based on my ground map and sighting from my ending marker to my beginning marker, my azimuth back to my car should be about 238. Now, another comment on aiming off. Although 238 was the azimuth to the beginning stick, remember I said we always aim off so we have a known error. I'm going to aim off to the right because I'm right-handed, and that'll be my tendency to err in that direction anyway. The other thing to keep in mind, although we tend to think of an azimuth as a little thin straight beeline, it really represents a corridor. So I usually think of an azimuth as having a center line and then extending about 20 yards out to my left and 20 yards out to my right. So that I'm thinking about it as a corridor, because in reality that's how you tend to walk it, and that's why some of the precision is missing from this kind of navigation. So instead of walking 238, it's a pretty short distance. I think I'll probably walk maybe 242. I'm going to add about 4 degrees. Over a long distance, that's way too much to add. At a half mile, I'd probably only add 2 degrees. At a mile, I'd only add 1 degree if I had a mile to walk. How far do I have to walk? Well, because supposedly my ground map is to scale, I should be able to pace it off and know. So let's do that right now. When I laid these sticks out, every bead was represented by one step, not one pace, but one step. So if I count the number of steps from my ending one to my beginning one, I should know how far I'm going to have to walk to get to the car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5.5, almost 6 beads worth. So that's 1/10 of a mile and another half of 1/10 of a mile. So I've got a little over 1/4 mile to go. Let's see how it works out. I think I see that linear feature road that I mentioned in the beginning up ahead. Yep, this is the same road. I turned left and yes, there's the donut wagon. There's an important point I forgot to mention on the video. When you've been walking in azimuth and counting your beads, and you stop and decide you're going to change azimuth, reset your beads and start afresh, start all over again. A turning point like that is called a waypoint or a checkpoint. And so the principle is always reset your beads at a checkpoint or a waypoint.